again with the continuation of this concept of demand and derived demand, the basic concept of demand and movement and supply of demand curve is already discussed. So after that we need to understand the concept of derived demand, right? So all you need to understand the concept properly. Right, so now we will discuss this derived demand. So demand, all you have understand that. Now we need to understand this term derived, right? So generally the derived means extraction. You are extracting the value from something, that is called derived, right? So so derived demand means from the demand some value has been extracted, so that is called a derived demand. It means because of the demand of certain product X, then certain product Y is demanded. So Y is the derived demand, right? If there is no demand of X, there is no demand of Y will be there. This is the basic notion of derived demand. Let me give a simple example, you can easily understand that. Suppose you have to consume a tea. So tea required milk and sugar. So because there is a demand of tea, and that demand of tea is creating the demand for milk and sugar, right? If there is no demand for tea, so there is no demand for milk and sugar too. So you can understand properly here, the demand for sugar and tea has been extracted from the demand of tea over there. So that is called a derived demand, right? If you talk about the term of forestry, so if the furniture is required, if there is a more demand of house, right? So there is a need of furniture, and so furniture will be there, and because of the furniture there is a demand for timber itself. So again the demand for timber is a derived demand, because there is a demand for furniture, and because of that the value has been extracted, that there is a need of lumber or the timber for manufacturing the furnitures. That is called, this is the basic concept of derived demand, right? And now you can easily understand that. So see what is the derived demand. The concept has been, I hope, clear to all of you. So now if you have to understand, the same thing has been written over there. The demand for certain goods or services resulting from the demand for related necessary goods or services. That is important there, obviously. Related and necessary goods, you require that. So as I given for the example, that if we need a furniture, we need a timber. So timber is a related good and also necessary. Then you are able to manufacture the manufacture the furniture. Similarly, if you talk about the plywood industries, right? So the demand that is needed for the plywood, according to the plywood industry, require the raw material, and for the raw material they need timber, right? So again it is a derived demand, because that is a related and necessary goods. If the plywood has to be manufactured, timber is required, right? Similarly the goods and similarly the services will be there. So here you can easily understand that what is the derived demand. So it is the demand for a certain goods or services resulting from a demand for related necessary goods or services. So resulting, look at there, right, from a demand for related or necessary goods for the services. So that's what's called a derived. It means extraction. This demand is extracted, it is value from some other demand here, and lots of examples of derived demand you people can have understand here properly, right? As you look at here, take a simple example of your mobile phone. Since there is a demand for mobile phones, so similarly there is a demand for Bluetooth instrument there is and if you need a mobile phone, more demand of mobile phone is there, so more demand for some earphone or some related goods that is required for a mobile phone has to be there. So this again it is a derived demand. So here the things has to be understand here properly, that this describe the demand for a certain goods or services resulting from a demand for related necessary goods or services there, right? This is the things, this is the first understanding of derived demand, or the definition of derived demand is there. Now we need to understand this component of derived demand, but before understanding this component, there are some some more thing that need to be understand for the derived demand is there, that see, it is not similar to the regular demand. See, we are talking about the demand that already I have discussed the concept of demand and all these things are there. So one need to understand properly here that this derived demand is differed from that regular demand. This is not as a same as the demand, the concept of demand that has been discussed. So this derived demand is basically differ from the regular demand, because what the regular demand suggests, or what the regular demand, the concept of regular demand is there. Regular demand, you all know that it is simply the quantity of certain goods or services that consumers are willing to buy at a given price at a certain point of time. This is the definition of demand, right? And the derived demand is depend upon the demand. So this is the things that you need to understand here clearly, because if the demand will be there, then derived demand is there, right? So both concept is differ, so it is differ from the regular demand here itself, right? This statement you also should be keep in your mind there. And also one more statement that one need to understand here, that this derived demand will exist only when there is a separate market that has been exist for both related goods or services involved, right? Because if there is a market for related goods or the services will be there, then this derived demand will be there. If there is no market for related goods, obviously there should be no derived demand at all. So these 2 or 3 points also you should keep in mind to understand the concept of derived demand, right? Now we need to understand the components. So there are 3 components that has been there. So derived demand can be broken in 3 components: raw material, process material, and the labor, right? This raw material, process material, and the labor, these are the component of derived demand, and all these components has to create the chain of derived demand. So now we need to understand what does it mean. So let me first open the slide. So first you know the raw material, right? So all you know the raw material, or it is also called the unprocessed material, and obviously this is the basic product that is required to manufacturing unit or to produce any kinds of good, right? So this, so you one need to understand how it is related to the derived demand. So the label of derived demand for a raw material is directly related to the you can say the directly related to, not only related to, but also depend upon the level of demand for the final good to be produced. Try to understand clearly. Again I am repeating, raw material. So as I told you, there is a derived, it is one component of derived demand. So how and why and when the raw material is needed. So obviously raw material is required to make any finished good. So as per the demand of finished goods is there, and accordingly the raw material is required. Again listen carefully, you can understand easily that the level of derived demand for a certain raw material, any raw material we are talking about, is directly related to and depend on the level of demand for the final good to be produced. It means, let me again repeat the same example, as per the demand of the furniture, demand of timber is required. So timber is the raw material for furniture, right? So as per the demand of furniture, the demand of timber will be there. So you can easily understand it's a directly related to and depend. First is a relation. Obviously to make a furniture we need a timber, so relation is there. And not only that, it is also depend upon. Depend means what? As much number of furniture is required, or what is the quantity that is demanded in the market related to the furniture, there is a need of timber accordingly, right? So because of that, raw material is a you can say that one of the component of derived demand, right? Now another thing, process material. right? So obviously when the raw material has been get assembled, or when raw material has been get processed, or the raw material is get converted into a finished product, so that is called processed material. Fine, this is a assembly of raw material, you can say that, right? So as per the raw material, processed material will be there. Is it clear? And you can take lots of example. We have a paper, we have a petroleum product, and then if you have manufacturing of any other kind of, if you need a you can say that if you have to make a medicine, and for the medicine you need a shrub and herbs, so shrub and herbs is going raw material, then you have to process the raw material, right? So that you are able to get the finished product. And then finally the labor, right? This is also a derived demand, because as per the demand of the finished product will be there, right? Whatever the demand of finished product, according to the raw material is required, and to convert the raw material into a certain finished product, there is a demand of human resource also there. So the labor is also come under the category of derived demand. So here one need to understand this concept clearly, कि whatever be the level of demand will be there, right? Or whether the level of demand of goods and services, whatever the level of demand of goods and services will be there, that is going to decide the level of demand for labor itself, right? And obviously if there is no demand, there is no workforce is required here. So these all three are the component of derived demand. So now is all three components going to create the chain of derived demand, right? Why it is called a chain? Of chain means obviously there is interlinkage between all these components, so chain will be there. So you need to understand the things here properly. Chain of derived demand is refer to the flow of raw material to the processed material to the labor and to end consumer. So all things have a linkage, all are interrelated. First raw material is required, because you can understand through this way, consumer has a certain demand for certain commodity, and for that there is a demand for raw material, and then raw material has to be converted into the processed material, and processed material to convert into the processed material, there is a demand for labor itself, right? So one chain has been created. It means all these components are interlinked to each other. So you can understand this clearly, कि whenever consumer or the customer is going to show a demand for a certain good, then as per the demand of that good, some related and necessary raw materials are required, and raw materials can be harvested, raw material can be processed, raw material can be assembled there, right? And for all this activity of harvesting or processing or assembling, there is a demand for labor itself. So all these component has a interlinkage or depend upon each other. So there is a chain of derived demand will be there itself, right? There is one more concept that also we need to understand here. Okay, there are two kind of derived demand, that is, one is called direct and other is called indirect derived demand. Direct and indirect, right? So direct, you can easily understand whatever the discussion has been, that is the concept of direct derived demand. It means certain goods has been in demand, so for that certain raw material or some other related goods has to be demanded. So that this is the direct derived demand. Now what is the meaning of indirect demand? Indirect derived demand. So concept is very easy to understand, because if there is a rise in demand for certain goods and services, if any goods and services, if the demand will be there, and if there is a rise, if more demand for that goods and services is there, so obviously it may automatically create a rise in demand for certain premises. Premises means where all this demand or all this commodity has to be sold, that is premises, right? So you can understand it easily. Take example, if we need a furniture, and if the demand of furniture is going to rise, so obviously more manufacturer will come into the picture. It means more manufacturing unit can be established, right? Or you can say that more retail shop has been opened to sell out those product into the market. So this is indirect derived demand. Have you get that? So you can understand easily. Well, let me give you a very simple example for all of you to understand. You are using a mobile phone, right? So obviously if there is a more demand of mobile phone, it means it is going to rise the more demand for some other component, like you have a tempered screen you are using, there is a Bluetooth, so derived demand will be there. So if more demand will create for the mobile phone, again you will get more shops in the market also, so shop is also going to open. So that is the indirect derived demand. So there is two component, direct and indirect derived demand, that one need to also understand here. Again I am repeating, suppose we need a furniture, so for furniture there is a derived demand of raw material like timber, and if there is a rise in the demand of furniture, so more shops you will find in the market to sell out those product. So opening of more shop is the indirect derived demand, and demand of timber to manufacture furniture is a derived demand or the direct derived demand, right? Then the economic effect, it means what is the effect of derived demand on the economy. So the effect is called ripple effect. Try to understand that. I am going to explain you what the effect will be there for the derived demand. That is called ripple effect, right? So first you need to notice what is the ripple effect. Ripple effect means what will the outcome of some other activity will be there. Let me give you a simple example of your college. See, there is a college, you have seen the college here, right? And college, and you have seen that because of the college lots of small shops has been opened there. So now we need to understand this economic effect. As I told you, it means what is the impact on the, either it is the local economy or the national economy, what the impact of derived demand will be there. So as I told you, that the effect will be ripple effect. So the meaning of ripple effect you can easily understand. It is the it is the result of some action. Whatever the action you are taking, you will get some continuous result for that action. That is the simple meaning of ripple effect. Let me give you a very simple example that I have given you. For example, this college is there, and because of this college you can understand that there are lots of small shops has been opened there. Then more students will come, then more you will find more, some restaurant has been started, then some transportation facilities also started, right? Then you can understand some more houses has been built there just for the rent purpose. So this is called the ripple effect. Have you get that? This is called the ripple effect there. So this is the economic effect of derived demand there, right? So here that you need to understand the concept here. As you look at there, far beyond the industries, workers and consumer directly involved, the chain of derived demand can have a ripple effect on the local and even the national economy, right? As you have understand easily, if any industry has to be established, so industry requires worker, right? And to worker has also certain kind of demand of certain commodity. It may be clothing, it may be fooding, it may be some recreational activity that needs to be there. So obviously some new facility has to be created, or some new kind of investment to facilitate all those other kind of demand. As I told you, for clothing or the shop or some mall, something is required. So that is the ripple effect, right? Some local market has to be created for shoes, or you can say jewelry, or some kirana store that people already seen that this local market has to be created. And similarly this has the impact on the national economy also. So this is the economic effect of derived demand. So this all about for this the concept of derived demand, right? And now if you people have any related question, you may ask a question here.